Aloha, I'm Felicia Miller Johnson, and I conduct work life video interviews with career professionals that become an all intuitive conversation. Aloha, and welcome to another episode of All Intuitive Conversation. I'm Felicia Miller Johnson, and I'm sure if you heard the phrase work smarter, not harder, but my intent is to talk to individuals to encourage them to live smart. Today, I have the pleasure of connecting with Howard. So let's bring him to the screen. Aloha, Howard.
Hello, hello, Felicia. How are you doing?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Awesome. Well, you and I have never met before, so I don't know anything other than what's maybe listed on your LinkedIn profile because that is how we connected. So thank you for being open to have this opportunity for me to learn a little bit more about you.
Absolutely.
So tell me, where are you sitting right now?
I am in the middle of Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh,
I'm in my workspace with sometimes I keep the shades closed. Today I left it open, give it a little more nice day outside to make me feel a bit like I'm working outdoors.
yes. So are you from Jacksonville, Florida?
Yes.
Born and raised?
Well, I'm born in New York City. I grew up in the Bronx and lived in
Mm,
Manhattan for many years. I've been in Jacksonville going on, I think next month will be 16 years that we've been
okay.
here. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So what sparked that move from the Bronx to Florida? Because that's a
Well,
big difference.
it was a big difference. I was living on the Upper West Side, Manhattan, for I guess 12 years or so before the move. I got married. My wife's family is from Jacksonville. She's from Jacksonville, and want to raise our children here. We had just had our first when we were making the plan, and he just had his 17th birthday yesterday.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
So I have a 17-year-old son as well. So what did y'all do to celebrate?
We had my family was in town. They're in New York. There's not usually that they're around for his birthday. So my family, my in-laws, some cousins, we all had dinner on Sunday night
Mhm.
with everybody, and then he went out with his friends last night.
Oh, yeah, gotta hang out with the
Hang with the friends.
hang out with the friends. Okay, so awesome. So you mentioned the outdoors because I will admit that resonated with me right away with the whole trees and to the right. So tell me about how you feel about the outdoors. Like, why is that kind of like a
Well,
thing for you?
living in Florida is very different than my experience living in New York. I had a balcony growing up, but not
Hmm.
in my apartments living an adult. But I do spend a lot of time outdoors doing things in our backyard. If I had a cover over like a little pagoda outside, I would work outside. Just because most time it's nice here. We have 2 seasons in Jacksonville. The rest of the year in February, so
Hmm.
I can wear shorts all year for the most parts, and just sit outside, and it's nice, and the weather is just fairly consistent. But most of the time, I'm working inside and can have a window to see what's out there.
Well, it's interesting because the card that came out here was the door to personal healing and happiness, which is scenic in the trees and the shrubbery and everything. So I was like, okay, yep, this is Howard's energy of where what he likes to do. So tell me a little bit about your work. What is it that you do?
Sure. I have been in the marketing industry for the most of my career,
Hmm.
working in sports marketing, event marketing, the radio marketing, national and local. And I've been working for the last 3 years, working with small business owners to address the issues in their business, increase their lead sales and revenue, and to really find the perfect balance of what they want their business to be, and help them really market it and generate revenues for it.
Hmm. So, what sparked you to get into marketing in the first place?
I was doing events in college. I was involved in a fraternity. We did a lot of events for charity and parties, and I saw what would happen if you create some advertising and some buzz, how
Hmm.
people be focused on that. I did an internship with the American Cancer Society and was watching the way they were marketing their business, and that's a side I wanted to do. So got involved into well, my love is sports. I want to get involved in sports marketing, so I was doing a lot of volunteer work to get the experience to get a job in sports. I was fortunate that they were building this huge sports complex in Manhattan at the time, and I got a job at the beginning as an admin working in marketing and operations and helping to build the complex before starting off in different positions that evolved for me over time.
Oh wow, that's so cool. Well, you're definitely still in this whole energy because the next car. Have you ever heard of Edith Piaf?
Uh, no, I know a number of Ediths, but not that one.
Well, clearly she's on the air when you were talking about the radio. She has one of those old school
Yes.
radio mics. I was like, okay, he's in this energy. And it talks about her attitude is ne regatta rain. And then her lifestyle talks about life with every fiber of your being. Inspiration, weaponize your flaws. So the next question that's kind of come through is between you like making this move and you're working and everything, how would you describe you living your life with every fiber of your being? How does Howard do that?
I try to put a lot of energy into what I do, whether it's again working one on one with business owners. I still
Mhm.
do a number of things with a microphone, different types of podcasting. I hosted
Yes.
two different online TV segments that I just wrapped up one that did about 400 episodes in February,
Ooh.
and it's just I enjoy people. I enjoy trying to make people's lives better, and I really try to focus my energies to figure out the best ways to do that.
That's awesome. So tell me about that podcast. 400 episodes. That's a lot of episodes.
Well, it started with I used to work. I used to run accounts for an advertising agency here in Jacksonville, and they
Mhm,
had a um, lead generation concept. They bring people into the agency, and the first floor set up as a studio, as if
mhm,
you were going to a TV studio. And I would interview these business owners, these 5 minute interviews, very quick questions back and forth, and getting some information about them, with the goal of getting them excited about the experience with us, so we can talk to them about their marketing and try to find the right advertising package for them. And the
hmm.
agency took on, and I did that for a while, about 125 of those. I left the agency. They took on a client and they asked me to come back to be a host. And I was interviewing marketing and advertising executives from around the world in these 5 minute interviews. And the site is dailyadbrief.com. They kind of put a bow on the whole project in the end of February. And I was the
Mhm.
last remaining host by the time it was all said and done.
Hmm, interesting. Um, so think about all those people that you spoke with. Tell me about one of the guests or something that really stood out for you in that interview that you had.
I think all the guests had very interesting careers, which I really liked. I loved hearing about what got them to. I really started with each question is, how did you get your start in the marketing industry? So I
Mhm,
really learned a lot about people's backgrounds before they were at the position they were in.
mhm.
One person in particular really struck me. She used to work for LinkedIn, since we're on
Hmm.
LinkedIn,
On
and
LinkedIn? Mhm,
she was there for a few years, but really learned a lot about the back end pieces. And she had just launched a business of helping people to figure out LinkedIn for themselves and their businesses. And I enjoyed the conversation so much. As I've had a couple of different. I'm launching actually next week a third podcast that I've hosted, and on the
mhm.
one that I'm winding down now, I had her on as a guest. So instead of speaking to her for 5 minutes, I spoke to her for about 45, just talking about the ins and outs of businesses and how they utilize LinkedIn. And she's really created this wonderful business for herself, being a LinkedIn guru.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. Like I said, with us doing this LinkedIn live here, so we definitely support the platform and connecting with business professionals. So the next thing that's coming through is the phrase that talks about weaponize your flaws. And what I'm hearing and meaning is like something that someone would consider to be a flaw, but yet really is like a strength, superpower. What is that for Howard?
I think it's my empathy.
Mm.
And which can be concerning at times because being empathetic and being a salesperson sometimes does not mix.
Huh.
Because when you empathize with the challenges the business owner is having and the 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 challenges they have with generating the right amount of revenues to then pay for additional services, you
Hmm.
can you can understand too much of what they're going through, so you may not click in that next level of salesman and trying to really take their heart and unfortunately take their heart and squeeze it to make them feel that the only answer is for them to pay for a service. However, those that I don't do that with and really choose not to,
Yep.
they appreciate that and find that the relationship that we have and how that grows over the course of me working with them can really enhance things. And they appreciate that I didn't really. In some ways, you're kicking someone when they're down. I really try not to do that.
Yeah. It's so interesting because when we very first started, well, let me start with this. When I connect in with the guests, one of the things I do sometimes is looking up the meaning of their name. Do you know the meaning of your name?
No, actually, I may have looked it up years ago, but it doesn't. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
So the meaning of your name, Howard, is Braveheart.
Oh,
And as I was asking Emmanuel to kind of lead me to the deck, I went to when I thought of Braveheart, I went to my Viking Oracle deck
okay.
because I just think of that the whole movie, just the warriors, the fighting. And when we very first started, I was saying, okay, tapping into the energy, but they were not telling me to share that card that had came out the very first time. And this is the card that came out when you first started conversing with me. And this one is mayonnaise, and like saying the Viking decks. And it says, develop yourself in all the ways you can, fulfill your potential, do not shy away from the collective consciousness. Human nature means mistakes are made, but we can learn from them. And then we were just talking about the whole flaws. I was like, oh, okay. So working with and for the community is becoming important for you. Be rational about an issue rather than emotional. And then you were talking about how just now, like, well, empathy or connection with people and feeling for them um, potentially could be a flaw. But here's the poem that goes with this. From the God's breath I came and I was made whole, life given, fate chosen, word bestowed and flowed. But it's up to me now to move and to choose. It's up to me to shimmer the carvings, to shake the tree. I am Menez. Menez represents the horse, as humans, humanity, humankind, our common strengths and weaknesses remind us that we are all human, that we are more alike than we are different. The Vikings relied on all the members of their community to contribute to the collective well being, as well as fulfilling their personal fate and spiritual energy. To the Vikings, this combination, the personal striving for excellence in the chosen fields and the responsiveness to the needs of the community as a whole, was the recipe for a successful society. The room mayonnaise asks for both unapologetically. How does that resonate with you?
It resonates me in a few ways, I guess audibly and visually. I'll explain.
Mm-hmm.
I've been developing an offshoot of my business,
Uh-huh.
and I I'm very involved within my community, and I'm someone who's Jewish and involved with synagogue life and marketing for the synagogue. And I
Mm-hmm.
just started a project about a month or so ago, reaching out to other synagogues around the country to help them market their to their congregants because of issues with COVID, because of issues of people not being involved, eventually going to expand into churches as well. But if you look
Yes.
at the card and you look at the shield, it
Yes.
looks in some ways like a cut off Jewish star from the side. So
Ah,
the whole thing, audibly and visually, it definitely resonates very strong.
Mm. Well, you are definitely like I said, in this energy between this, because like I said, I was like, I'm not sure where this was going, but then, the connection with you and there's the flowers and the windows and the environment, and then of course the whole on air, just personality and talking viewing, and who knows, maybe this is symbolic of the woman that you mentioned that was the interview in LinkedIn. So it becomes this energy that you're exuding is just this brave heart. With all the things that you have going on, what do you hope to see a year from now that you've achieved?
A year from now, I hope to uh, check off a lot of boxes. Um, Today, I believe I've checked off two major ones in my life that really came unexpectedly and benefits me in a great way.
Hmm.
With this offshoot, I hope by helping communities around the country that I'm growing my name, I'm growing my opportunity to help more. Um, to get that exposure I need, so that marketing is coming more to me as in addition to what I'm doing for them, but also really allow for my children to participate in the activities that they want and want to have to be part of without any challenges to that, and which is good. Look,
Mm.
my kids are teenagers, lots of different summer activities, weekend activities, and it's a father's responsibility to find funds to cover all that. So thus
Hmm.
lies the goal for the year, I guess.
Okay. True statement that comes up here has the theme of reset, and it has the essential oil of eucalyptus, and it says, "True statement, Howard. I am alive. It is time to embrace a new way of being, one filled with health and the freedom to create a new reality." And so, like, the encouraging word is, as you're doing all those things, still take time to rest, still take time to enjoy the outdoors, because it's very much connected to who you are. Um, in that, even just sitting outside versus just looking through the window, but immerse yourself and be a part of that in the midst of doing all these different things that you're doing for everyone else. That it's okay to reset, take time for Howard, and enjoy the outdoors and in your life.
I think it's a wonderful concept, and something I look forward to.
Wonderful. So, for those individuals that want to connect with you and learn more about you and your business, how can people reach you?
Well, you can easily reach me on LinkedIn at Howard Wolpoff, and very
Yes.
active on LinkedIn. Actually, was one of the first 50,000 people who were on the site just by a fluke.
Oh,
A
wow.
good friend
That's
of
cool.
mine who had surgery on Friday. He said, "Hey, you click on this," and that's 2001, 2002. So I've been around for a while.
Wow.
And then you have access to my websites there. But howardwalpuff.com is all my links to different websites for my Profit Master Business Solutions, uh, small business owner marketing and coaching website, and this new project of mine, Shul Marketing. If you have a synagogue or church that has need for connecting better with their audience.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for being open to having this all intuitive conversation with me, Howard. And for those that are watching, if you're like, hey, I would love to be a guest on the show with Felicia, reach out to me as well on LinkedIn and just let me know that you would like to be a guest. And until we meet again, this has been an all intuitive conversation.